What is going on, my friends? Welcome back to another video in the shop. Tonight we have first gen work. Teardown on the first gen officially starts now. The transmission teardown didn't count, but guys, this thing is about to be apart in a million pieces, and I'll explain why. Before we get into the first gen content, you already know, shameless plug of the video, guys. Have you gotten entered to win the silver rig? Wrenchworks giveaway number 7 officially live. Get yourself some new gear. Best way to support the channel, get yourself some Wrenchworks gear and get entered to win the truck at the same time. You gotta get some new gear. But anyway, boys, the silver truck is going to one of you guys. Not only is the silver truck going to one of you guys, it's got a silver trailer to match and the cash. Wrenchworks.com. Link is right down below, or go to wrenchworks.com and get entered to win. It's going to one of you guys. I'm so pumped. You guys can come out here, gonna hang out. Anyway, boys, let's get on with the video, but don't forget to get entered to win. This truck, one of my favorite trucks. I'm in love with it. Perfect daily driver. Perfect do whatever you want to do truck. But guys, first gen, here we go. Black extended cab first gen 4-wheel drive swap project under full effect. If you guys don't know my man Charlie, Instagram Metal by Charlie, I'll put it down below here. Charlie is basically, in my opinion, the first gen and older man. Like that's what he specializes in, that's what he does. The stuff that he builds and does is just truly amazing. I love watching all of his Instagram stories. But anyway, he's coming here to help us 4-wheel drive swap it, install some parts that he makes. If you guys have a first gen or even an older Dodge, Ram, Chrysler project and you're not following him, you're really missing out. But anyway, he's got some suspension pieces that he makes and he's gonna help us 4-wheel drive swap. We're gonna put on one of his 3-link kit coilover kits in the front. Gonna be so sick. I'm so pumped for it, but we have to tear it apart to do so. Now let's get into that and let me explain that for just one quick second here. So when we bought the truck and it was already at Underground Customs and Adam painted it for us, it kind of might have been a little bit of a backwards thing, but it was already bought and purchased at the body shop. So it was painted, but normally you would do all of your suspension build, all this stuff without it painted. You'd paint last, that way the paint doesn't get messed up. So to avoid that and to work on the chassis much easier and not have the body get messed up, we're gonna be taking the body, the bed, the whole entire cab, everything completely off of the chassis to do the suspension work, to do the 4-wheel drive swap. Engine's gonna come out in order to remove and redo cross members and stuff. So the safest way to protect the body is kind of just to take it completely off. And it's also a lot easier to work on the chassis with it off. So we're gonna take things apart. We're gonna not scratch the body at all. We're not going to scratch the body at all, boys, but that is the general gist of what we're getting into tonight. He's going to come down here and help us, so we got to get prepared. We're going to get prepped up. That way when he's here, we're just going to knock out the important stuff. So my goal this evening, tomorrow, is to get as far as I can, basically tearing this thing down. We don't have lifts in here yet, so we may have to make a quick trip. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling, boys, but there's work to be done in preparation for the 4-wheel drive swap when Charlie comes down here. And that is what we are tackling tonight / tomorrow. But your job in all this, sit back, relax, and watch, but also go get entered in the silver truck, because I know you guys want to. The silver truck, don't lie. A couple new t-shirts, and this silver truck would look really good on you. All right, before we get started here, we're gonna drain the coolant. That's gonna be our first thing. But if you guys have ever drained coolant on first gens, maybe I'm wrong there, maybe there's an easier way, but let me just show you guys one thing underneath these things. Maybe it's a 2-wheel drive thing, I don't know. They put the coolant drain from the radiator in the worst spot. It just drains into 17,000 different locations. Get yourself one of these flexible funnels, and I just shove it up in there. That way it's actually got a path to drain instead of going into all of this mess everywhere underneath here. So we're gonna drain the coolant first, but flexible little drain alleyway race chute for the win. right, so we're getting a couple things disconnected in the engine bay here. Again, engine is going to stay with the chassis, body is going to lift up. So we've got to disconnect everything in the engine bay that when you go up with the body isn't going to be connected to the engine. So intercooler piping, the air intake pipe, battery cables, all that good stuff. Brake, like we're just working in the engine bay. We're gonna end up taking the radiator out, all that good stuff. So on this episode of things that make you go, huh, interesting. Got your factory clamp there with a worm clamp on top of it. So yeah, anyway, quick update. That's where we're at, that's what we're doing. Engine gonna stay put, body gonna go Houdini and go up. For a little catch up. We worked late last night and into this morning here, just kind of getting the engine bay taken care of first before we go ahead and do the bumpers and the body bolts and all that stuff. Feel like the engine is a little bit tedious, kind of getting everything removed around it. So we're pretty much done in the engine bay, in my opinion, until we go to lift the cab up and you kind of find which ones are giving you a little tension test. But as you guys can see, we'll kind of work our way around here. So coolant lines in the back are off. The exhaust we had already pulled off. We've got our intercooler piping off, our intake pipe here. Anything that doesn't connect from the body to the engine is coming off. So you want to see a clear area around here. So we got a radiator off, which is a story of its own, which we'll get to. Working our way around here again. Coolant, intercooler piping, we've got steering lines over on here. This is definitely a little bit more involved side. So we've got our master cylinder off of our booster. We've got our steering shaft disconnected. We are just really doing the big old Ford mod for the cab to come up here. One big thing that I've found with this truck, and it kind of just resonates to kind of what I always tell you guys. I get asked a lot of questions about what truck is the best one to buy or what would you look for. Buy a stock truck. As stock as you can. I don't like, not even gauges put in it, because some of the wiring in this truck is gonna have to be seriously gone through. First gens are kind of known for this area wiring right here, and someone has definitely been in here. It is a little bit of a thing, to say the least. Some of the wiring on this truck, yeah, we're just gonna leave it at that, but it's gonna have to be re-gone through for sure. Someone over here this is the kind of stuff that, like, you know, like instead of doing it right, it's just they cut and they tried to like glue stuff back, and it's like, what are you even doing, my guy? But I think a lot of it is from the gauges, some of the wiring issues in here. We've got like one random wire that goes over here on our engine connector. Let me show you this, because some of this stuff, it's like, what even is it? Like right there, that red wire for the engine, there's like the engine plugs. I'm trying to zoom at the same time so you guys can see. So you got these two plugs, and then you've got this one random wire that's over there. Let me put this back so it stays put. Kind of got her wedged in there for right this second until we lift the cab up. And that red wire kind of like comes over here. It's like, I'm gonna have to undo all of that. But anyway, boys, who cares? At the end of the day, everything's fixable. We're gonna get it done, and it's gonna be 10 times better than what it was. But my key point was, buy a stock truck. As stock can be. Unless it was built right. Unless it was built right. Then, but you just never know. But anyway, boys, that's where we're at. That's what we got. We got to actually take a break, because we're taking a little field trip, road trip, because the 5th gen mod, first modification to the 5th gen needs to happen right now. So we're gonna jump ship off this and then come back to it later this evening. But we're gonna go ahead and pull out these gauges. if Michael could see this wiring, he would just not be happy. Not be happy at all. Like I said, the radiator is a story of its own. So we were trying to get our lower coolant hose off of here, and you know, if you've seen old coolant hoses, they get stuck on there. You gotta, you know, put a pick in here, gotta pry around it, and I must have been pulling just a little too hard, or this was already on its way out, but the metal neck where it goes into the tank here is no longer solidly connected. I was like, hey, I've got some movement, and then, you know, I'm like, okay, that's not very good. So I'm not sure if we are going to see, like, you could, you know, see, like, there you go, it's good as new. We can just, you know, we could throw a weld on that, maybe, probably not. Our other first gen, we've put a Mishimoto radiator in it, and it has been money ever since, because these just old stuff. But that's what happened to the radiator late last night, and I'm just like, all right. Hey, Dawson. All right, guys, like I said, we're gonna take a brief break from the first gen because we gotta go drop the 5th gen off to get its first mod. First exterior mod, what do you think it is? Should be everyone's step 1 mod, in my opinion, but we're gonna take care of some things, but it requires a little bit of road trip. So we got Dawson, he's gonna help us, and we're gonna make a little road trip here this afternoon. But before we do anything here, we've got this light on the dash that I'm sure you guys have experienced before. It's probably the most painful one that you're gonna encounter in these ages that we're living in. So we gotta stop and get some fuel, which, you know, just, there's so many things I could say about the prices of diesel fuel right now, but they are certainly unenjoyable. But anyway, let's get on the road. All right, as suspected, that was definitely painful. Thank you very much. My goodness. All right, now we can hit the road. Have made it. We are here. We are here at our destination with the 5th gen. So, first mod up for the 5th gen, window tint. We have traveled south to Franklin, Tennessee. You guys know on the silver truck, we had them tint the silver truck and it came out absolutely perfect. And I'm a stickler when it comes to window tint because you stare at it all the time. So silver truck came out perfect. So the guys down at Well Shaded in Franklin, Tennessee are taking care of the tint on the 5th gen. So they're gonna do that tomorrow, which you guys will see at probably a later date. But we traveled down here, we dropped it off for them so they can knock it out first thing tomorrow. So you guys will see that, but if you guys need window tint, like I said, Southern Kentucky, Tennessee area, Well Shaded, we'll put up the Instagram, but excited for them to knock that out. First official mod on the 5th gen. You already know, gonna be the window tint. All right, so we're gonna pull it inside here, and yeah, then we're gonna take off. You guys will see it at a later date. Thank you, sir. Look at that 5th gen headlights. Oh yeah. Alrighty guys, we are back from dropping off the 5th gen to get the window tint done again. You guys will see that at a later date. Unfortunately, we got hit with some traffic on the way back, so this is pretty much gonna close out this video. Didn't get as far as I wanted to on the 1st gen, but we will be back at it, tearing it down. Before you go, don't forget to get entered in Wrenchworks giveaway number 7, going by quickly. Don't forget, make sure you guys get entered. We will see you in the next video. Make sure you guys give the video a big thumbs up before you leave. Subscribe if you have not already. We'll see you in the next video very, very soon. Would you just look at it? I'm in love. I can't stop but stare. Anyway, boys, we'll see you in the next video. See ya.